Well, let's start then with immigration, because I think, as you said, if we have a biblical thoughts about immigration, that can actually help solve a lot of the issues. So, first of all, does Scripture give nations the right to control their borders?
Absolutely. It's implicit in the fact that you're a nation with a border, with laws that are regulating your national life. So implicitly, you could deduce that, of course, you're going to have the right to control your borders and determine who may or may not be a visitor or uh, a citizen of your country. Um, so you could argue it just from kind of deductive principle. But then you go to scripture, and of course, there are many laws given to Israel which govern the question of uh, right, privilege, of admission, privileges even after you are admitted, and they're not all the same for everybody who comes in. So, yeah, it's pretty clear from that nations are real. They have governments, and a duty of the government would be to control the border for the welfare of its nation.
So the Bible's not necessarily for open borders then.
No, it's not for open borders. Um, it's not for strictly closed borders either. I would say it's for regulated borders. And there's like loads of stuff you could look at with regard to that, Joseph. You've got foreigners and strangers in Israel, and it's hard to distinguish just exactly, are they the same thing? I think they may be distinguished where you've got a foreigner who kind of visits for a time. He can, engage in trade, um, but he doesn't integrate into the life of the nation as a citizen. He doesn't have a right, for example, to certain aspects of law. He's not allowed to go to the Passover. Um, then you have strangers who sojourn more permanently among the people of God, and they through time move to like a full citizenship. And you've got, if you think at the end of Exodus 12, they're leaving Egypt, and no foreigner will eat the Passover. And then in the next breath, if a foreigner wants to eat the Passover, let him be circumcised in all his meals. So you've got a clear distinction there between two different kinds of foreigner that are going to be found within Israel.